What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down some of the best at-home wide receiver drills that do not require a lot of space. Let's get started. But also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you would like a daily on-field training schedule to follow with over 200 plus wide receiver route running drills, press release drills, catching drills, the works, all mapped out for you in a daily schedule to follow, check out that very first link in the description below for our 2-month on-field wide receiver workout plan. We give you the exact sets and reps for each drill, an example of each drill, and an exact schedule to follow, obviously. So again, very first link in that description below if you want an 8-week on-field training schedule. Let's get back to this video. Alright guys, so the first drill we're going to be talking about is something called a duck walk, okay? So how this video is going to roll through is I'm going to explain some of the concepts behind these drills, how you can use these drills in an actual live game scenario, and then I'm going to explain the drill and show a full speed example of the drill. So when you guys are playing wide receiver position, you're matched up against a DB, whether he's an off man, sometimes a safety, even when a safety's in zone, or press man. A DB's eyes are supposed to be where? And this should be an easy question. He's supposed to be looking at your hips, right? His hips are going to tell you where you are going. But not if, as a wide receiver, we know how to sell a route with my hips. So like, let's say, for example, it's press coverage, right? And let's say I got a guy who's inside shade press, and I'm trying to give him a move where I attack him to the inside, and then I go to the outside. The mistake a lot of wide receivers will make is they'll come up to the line, and they'll go to make this move, and they'll step there, they'll do this 1-2, but their body stays down the middle. Their hip and their upper half does not go with the step. And that's what this duck walk works on. It works on you getting that point where your hip is attached to your foot, and we're actually able to step and attack at DB's leverage. So, how this is going to work. You honestly need maybe only 5 yards of space for this. You could do this with 10. I'm in my garage, so again, not a lot of space, but I only need about 10 yards of space for this. So what we're doing is you're going to be lined up here. All we're doing is you're in a low position, and we're going to just literally step back and forth. You're going to step with the right foot, step with the left, step with the right, step with the left, step with the right, and you're going to do that all the way throughout 10 yards. Now, notice how when I did this, I wasn't popping up. A lot of people who have weaker hips, they'll do this drill, they'll step, but then they start to pop their butt up and their chest starts to lean forward. You have to stay low on this. You should feel a burn in your legs and in your hips. So number one, you come off the line, set, go. You want to make sure that your upper half is loose. Your left arm, when you step with the right foot, turns. You were trying to turn your belly button to the sideline, if you will. And as soon as you hit that right foot, we push off back. Turn the right arm now, belly button to the sideline. Left arm now, you push, 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 and all the way through you were pushing. I'm going to show you how this thing is going to look full speed in a second here, but make sure there's a great drill that you add to your daily routine. Alright guys, so this next drill is going to be working on your trigger step at the top of the break, like a comeback or a curl or what have you. So like, let's say, for example, again, I'm going to break down the game scenario and how this is actually going to apply. Then I'm going to explain the drill and show a full speed example of this drill. So for example, like let's say you guys are running a comeback route, it's zone coverage, DB's 8 yards off, and your comeback route is like, let's say 15 yards back to 12. So usually when it comes down to steps, running route off of steps is something that I feel all wide receivers eventually are going to have to do. So you might as well learn it as soon as you possibly can. So let's say I'm out of my stance, quarterback's over here to the left, and let's say this left foot is my inside foot. A lot of times terminology on routes, especially when you get to that next level, college ball, it's all off the steps because timing is so important. When it's zone, when it's press, it's all about landmark. But when it's zone, this comeback route would probably be off of something called like your fourth inside step. So your left foot is up, that would be your inside step. So when you're running the route, you're not counting each individual step. You're not going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then try to cut, because that's too many numbers going on in your head. You're confusing yourself, and when you're thinking too much, you're playing slow. Now, we have to think, but just count the inside steps. That's why they do it, because it's easier. It's easier to find a rhythm. So set, go, we come off. We don't count that. That's 1. Don't count the next one. That's 2, 3, and then on the fourth inside, that is when you're going to drop your hips to get into this comeback route. So that fourth inside step is called the trigger step. And that is the step where if you're running a comeback route, you have to snap down. You have to get low. Your chin goes to your knee. You're sitting your butt down to be able to slow yourself down. It triggers the hip drop so we can pivot and get out of this break and drive out back to that ball. So that's the trigger step. Now, This drill works on that trigger step and helps you actually get low and have a violent hip drop at the top of the break. So what you're going to do is you're going to stand here, and again, don't need a lot of space. You need maybe a yard of room to do this drill. But you're going to stand, let's say, on your right foot. Let's say you're working on your left leg. Left leg is going to be tucked at a 90 degree. Hands are going to be above your head. So what you're going to do is you're going to shoot down your hands and try to drop your entire pad level. But as you shoot down, you're going to switch legs and try to drop your chin to your knee and generate as much explosion as possible with your hands going down. So when you guys snap down at the break point, it's not just about dropping your butt down and keeping your chest up in the air. It's also about dropping your upper body as well. So we're in a balanced position. That's what this drill works on. So again, you're going to be here, hands above your head, on the go, or whenever you feel like going, it's going to be just a switch, and you're going to drop down and try to stick the landing. As I fall off of there, as you can see, it's a little bit difficult. I'm going to try it again. We go here, we drop down, and focus on really bringing that chin to your knee and holding that nice steady position. Don't let that knee cave in, as that is a bad habit to get into. I'm going to show you how this drill will look full speed. All right, guys, so this next drill, you're going to need a little bit of space. You need maybe about, I would say, 5 yards wide and maybe about maybe 7 to 8 yards deep. Don't need a ton of space, but this is going to be working on like a speed cut, or not so much like a speed cut, but I would guess like a heavy indicator cut at the top of like a post or a corner route, right? So like, let's say, for example, I'm running a post route, and let's say I'm attacking this DB, attacking him, and then I'm putting that foot in the ground to make that cut, and I drive out. Now, when you make that cut, there are two things that you need leading into the cut. Number one, we need good body language, and we need good stride. Those are two indicators that wide receivers cannot have. Especially like, let's say you're out of the slot, and let's say you're running a corner, for example. Quarterback's over there and breaking on a corner this way. When I run up and that safety's like essentially in man coverage, he's watching my hips, I can't be that guy that raises up as I go to cut, because that raise up, he's watching my hips. When my chest raise, my hips raise, and that's a dead indicator. Number two, I can't be that guy that comes out running really hard and then I start to chop my stride to prepare for the cut, as that is also an indicator. You're letting him know when you are making a break. So we need to make sure that we attack him with the same body language, same stride, just be able to cut on a dime. So it's tough to work on that when you don't have a ton of space, right? You don't have a ton of space, the weather maybe isn't cooperating, what have you. This drill is going to help with that. So this is like a high knee 3-step cut drill. So it's going to be a consecutive course of 1, 2, 3, 4 cuts. So all you're doing is you're going to start out like this. Again, it's probably, if it helps you, you could set up some cones. Cones are not necessary, but you would put a cone here at a 45, a cone here, a cone here, and a cone here at all 4 parts of this cut. But honestly, you don't need cones. You just do this based off of steps. So you're going to be only taking 3 steps, but it's going to be high knees. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, back and forth all the way through 4 times. Now, the reason why we do high knees is to kind of build that comfortability running with full stride. And a drill like this is great for a beginner guy, or even a guy who struggles with the reach at the break, choppy steps leading into a break, because you're running with you're going high knees straight into a cut. It's very, very similar to how you would actually do a full speed, full stride route in terms of the stride length, right? So that's why we're doing it like this. That's the purpose of this drill. I'm going to show you how this is going to look full speed. It's kind of hard to explain at times with this drill. I'd rather show you. So I'm going to show you how this is going to look full speed. All right, guys, so this next drill, you don't need a ton of space. You need maybe, again, about 5 yards, 10 yards. You don't need anything wide. You just need like a 10-yard strip that you can do on this. So this is going to be called a high knee hip drop. So I'm sure some of you have seen this drill. Maybe you don't know necessarily why we do this drill. And so that's what I'm going to explain right now. And then I'll obviously show the drill full speed. So when you guys are running routes, like we talked about on that post, the same thing applies for a break, like a comeback, a curl, a hitch. You do not want to shorten your stride leading into the break. I do not want to be that guy that comes out here, set, go, I'm running full speed, I chop my stride, and then I drop my hips. Because again, that is an indicator. You are letting the DB know, hey, I'm about to make a break because I'm chopping my steps. Now, this drill, or this specific drill, forces you to not have those choppy steps. So all we are doing is you're going to be doing simple high knees that you've done a million times. From the time that you were 6 years old, I'm sure all of you have done high knees before. So we're going to come up. You're trying to get as many reps in as you can and not gain a ton of ground. You're trying to stay somewhat in place. So we're going to be coming out here, fast hands, fast feet, high knees. Then when you get to either a cone, a landmark, somebody says drop, whatever it is, you're going to be from this high knee position, you're going to snap down and drop. You're focused on dropping on the ball at your foot and sitting your butt down. Then you're going to pop up, do it again, drop again. There are 2 reps of this per set. When I show you full speed, I'm going to set up some landmarks so you guys can see how it should look when you don't have a partner. But the best way to do it is have a partner say go, you go high knees, they say drop, you drop to work on that quick trigger of your hips. Now, how this benefits us is when we're going high knees, you have to get your knees up, right? That's the whole purpose of the drill. You're not doing high knees like this, you're getting your knees up, which is just like how you have to run a route like a comeback. You're getting your knees up, you're taking full stride, and a lot of guys aren't comfortable dropping in full stride. This high knee drill can get you comfortable with that. I'm going to show you how it's going to look full speed. Alright guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. Always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys as usual. And again, fellas, if you would like to come out and get our 8-week wide receiver on-field workout schedule, 200 plus wide receiver drills that you can do, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to get you on that. I'll see you guys next time.